We are now recording today's meeting. Today's guest speaker, Rob Truman, is a lifetime member of Computer Buddhas of Sun Lakes and serves on their board of directors as their web director. He has over 40 years of experience in information technology and internet-related fields.
We with that for a couple of years, got it.
Please do not talk during this. Rob is a retired U.S. Navy Chief Electronics Technician and has worked as a technical support professional for Microsoft. He holds a Master of Arts degree in Adult Education and a Bachelor of Science degree in Information Technology. He is a staunch proponent of lifelong learning, runs a website blog called Geezer Tech, which we have already put up on the club site, and I imagine he'll mention that during his presentation. He's also been kind enough to give us a handout, which I have already posted under handouts on our club site. He focuses on helping the senior community with their technology needs and volunteers and teaches adult education technology classes through his local community college and their lifelong learning program, New Adventures in Learning. So let's give a warm applause to today's guest speaker, Rob Truman.
Thank you, sir.
You may now share your screen, sir.
Hopefully everyone has now seen what I'm seeing. And I do appreciate the opportunity to chat with you folks. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Google. Unfortunately, Google is just too massive. There's no way I'm going to probably teach you much, but we'll at least try to give you a good overview and maybe stem some interest, and you can do some further research in the areas that you're most interested in. A little bit of information about myself. As you were reading that bio, I wasn't sure who you were talking about. That guy sounds pretty impressive. But just a little bit of my background. Anyone that wants to contact me, if you have a question on anything that I can help you with, feel free to drop me an email. I'm glad to do it. All right, this is the areas that we're going to try and cover. Excuse me. Search, Gmail, Google Drive, and YouTube. And we'll probably touch on a couple different areas in those and see what we can come up with. So first one, what is it? The name Google is it's a mathematical term, Google, which is a 1 with 100 zeros following it. So in case you ever had that curiosity, where do they come up with the name? That's what it's from. When Larry Page and Sergey Brin originally named the search engine Backrub. No idea why, except, hey, who doesn't like a backrub? As part of Google's Green Initiative, they actually have their own herd of goats, and that's how they cut their grass at their corporate headquarters. Back in 1999, I know that seems so long ago now, doesn't it? They tried to sell the company to Excite, which is another search engine at the time, for $1 million. And Excite rejected the offer. Google is now worth more than $300 billion. So that's one CEO that's probably regretting that decision. Google offers over 220 products and services, and both for personal use and corporate use. 90% of their income or revenue is generated from advertising. And so all these other services are there for one reason, and that's to drive the advertising engine. These are just some of the most common ones that you may have heard of. So how well does Google really know you? Well, they know who you are via their facial recognition, search, voice commands, photos, and ads. They know everywhere you've been due to Chrome, Maps, Search, Waze, which is like Maps, and their calendar. They know who your friends are because of Gmail and Hangouts. They know what you like and dislike because of what news you read, shopping, what searches you do, and what books you read. They know your future plans because you're searching for it. You're looking at places to travel on maps. And they know your online life basically from their browser and Gmail and search. I will stop occasionally and answer any questions as we get into this a little bit more thoroughly. So, search. Let's see if we can, short movie here.
Google can do much more than find a website. In fact, this search engine has numerous features that can simplify your online experience. And you may not know these easy-to-use tricks even existed till now. For instance, the phrase "near me" can provide all sorts of info. Just type something like "food near me."
Hang on, something's not right here. Give me just a second.
Coffee near me or gas near me, and Google will look for
Oh, well. My apologies. But anyway, the link to this video is also on that handout, so you can watch it. And what it does is it goes through and gives you some very typical, useful terms to help you with your searches. One being, you can search for food near me. That should bring up a range of restaurants close to your location.
nearby examples. Even a phrase like "cool places near me" works, so don't hesitate to try new ideas. When you need help with math, enter a problem into the search bar, such as 42 divided by 11 or 19 multiplied by 8. You'll get the answer along with the calculator. Google can do much more than
Easter eggs. Easter eggs are hidden pieces of code, and Google's been pretty famous about doing these. So there's a lot of games that you can play just inside the Google search engine. If you're interested in finding out more about these, you can go and hit Google Easter eggs and check on Wikipedia. You can just do a regular search, whatever search engine you prefer, and you'll find it. As with anything else, and I think it applies extremely well to technology, garbage in, pretty much, you know what you get coming out. So you can go up there and you can ask, what is the answer to life, the universe, everything? And Google will give you an answer for that. And of course, the answer is 42, garbage out. So I'm going to open this. We're going to pause here just a minute. If there's any questions, anything we want to discuss, go for it.
Marcia here. When they mention questioning places near me, you have to be careful to have your location turned on Otherwise, it will give it near your home location, even if you're now 1,000 miles from home.
That is true. I mean, you know, for it to work, it needs to know where you're at.
I'd also suggest that you not use a VPN because it'll give you information as to where your VPN server is located, not your own.
Very true. Unless you're looking for that area, of course. Anything else? Okay. The big one, Gmail. All right, first of all, it is a free service, just like other email services, whether Yahoo, AOL, so forth and so on. MSN, of course, sends and receives emails. You can block spam with it. You can have an associated address book. And it's extremely powerful. I've noticed that most people have quit using installed email clients like Outlook, whatever whatever your favorite happens to be. More and more people seem to be going to using webmail. One of the reasons for that is it makes it extremely easy to access your email from any device. If that device can connect to the internet, then I can get to my email. You can make adjustments to Gmail's appearance and behavior. You can create signatures, set up a vacation reply, edit your labels, have different themes, and it's all done through settings. And to get to your settings in Gmail, you just click the little gear icon, usually located in the upper right-hand corner of your screen on Gmail, and go into settings. These are some of the different categories you'll typically find. You can, for instance, in my Gmail account, I have, not only do I have it importing email from other accounts that I have, I also have it set up to where I can send email looking like it's from other accounts. So everything doesn't get sent from my Gmail account. For instance, I have an email that's set up on my website called rob@geezertech, and I can actually go log into my Gmail account and send an email from that account. So there's also chat. There's a lot of advanced tools, themes. Managing your email. Let's face it, your inbox gets cluttered. And we are in the age of spam email, and just keeping that out sometimes becomes a 24-hour-a-day job. So you can keep your inbox organized so you can find messages when you need them. And now this becomes extremely important with as many Zoom meetings as we seem to be going to. I can't tell you how many people I've had contact me. I can't find that invite, that Zoom invite email. So you can delete unwanted messages, you can archive messages, and you can apply labels. Labels, we're going to get to here a little bit deeper because labels are extremely powerful. So labels versus folders. On the surface, they probably look the same. In fact, they probably, you'll probably see the same icon for a label as you would a folder, say in Outlook, but they're not. You can add multiple labels to an email. Think of a label as a search term. So if I apply a label whatever it may say. I apply the label family to emails from family members. But then I can also apply another label. So for some of those emails, I can apply a different label. And I can also search on those labels. You can share labels, to help in collaboration. And as I said, searching for labels. So labels become a very powerful tool. They can save you a lot of time by automatically, going on to filters, excuse me. Filters, if you're familiar with Outlook, okay, Outlook calls filters rules, and that's exactly what these are doing. So what happens is when you get an email into your inbox, it runs through all these filters. If any of those rules that you've set up applies, then it does that appropriate action. So you can perform actions like you can actually set up a filter to label emails from a certain person, company, whatsoever. Or you can set up a filter to delete messages as soon as they arrive. You can create filters that look for a specific sender, subject, specific words that are contained in the email. On your sidebar in your Gmail, you're going to notice there's 3 icons. Okay. So if I open an email, I can create a note using Google Keep that only applies to that email. And now that note will be linked to that email. I can set up an appointment for that email. Or if I click on that email and go to calendar, if I have any appointments already set up related to that contact, it's going to show me. And the last one is tasks. And so you can add to-dos, deadlines, so if you're running a business and you need to do some to lists or add deadlines to an email, you can also do that. Extremely powerful. You can unsend an email. And I don't think I need to explain how important this can be at times. I think we've all done it. We've all hit that send button and immediately thought, I wish I wouldn't have done that. What you have to do is you have to enable the settings. And you go into settings, general, and you undo send. You can set this up to a 30-second maximum. So what's really happening underneath the engine here is it's just actually delaying that send, for 30 seconds. And it gives you a chance to be sure, are you sure you want this to go out? Every time now, from that point on, that you click send, you'll get a little pop-up that says, let you know that your message has been sent. Do you want to undo it? And as long as you're within that time frame, then you can undo and not send the message. You can also schedule to send an email. You can tell Gmail when you want to send it, and you can pick a time, like an hour from now, tomorrow, or you can put in a custom date and time in the future. And that future can be a few years out. So if you know that you're going to forget to do something next year, you can send yourself an email and remind yourself. Okay, Gmail, questions?
How do you make a label? How do you go about doing that?
Okay, what you're going to do is everything you're going to do is in settings. Okay, so if you, and to get to settings, you're going to click on, let me see if I can get back here. You're going to click on this little icon up here in your Gmail, and then you're going to come over here and click on labels, and it'll take you through and show you how to set up your labels. And it's going to take you through a series of prompts to, and you're going to kind of set up what rules and what criteria that you want for that label. If you just, I use labels a lot. So I have these set up. So for instance, any email that's getting emailed to one of my other email addresses. So for instance, I have an email address called rob@geezertech.com. So any email that gets sent to that address, I have a label when it hits my email, my Gmail, it automatically goes into a different folder. And it just helps me keep my inbox sorted. Anything else? Okay. Next area, Google Drive. First of all, let's identify what the cloud is. And Google Drive is nothing more than cloud storage. It's the same as Microsoft OneDrive. There's some other ones out there, such as Apple iCloud, Yahoo Mail, Dropbox. All of these are cloud storages. Okay. The cloud is nothing more than a hard drive somewhere else. And that's really all it is. So when someone says to save something to the cloud, it's just literally saving that into an offsite storage location. Some advantage of that is that you can now access that information or that document or those photos or whatever it is that you're using in cloud storage to access it from any device you own or any device, period, as long as it has internet access. The security is good, but it's not foolproof. Anything man can create, another man can circumvent. But most of these are actually pretty safe because let's face it, having a security breach, for Google to have a security breach or Microsoft to have a security breach of information is going to be extremely not good for their business. So they take this very seriously. It's a free service. I believe you still get 15 gigabytes of storage space for free just by having a Google account. And again, I said you can access that from any device that has internet access. They also give you access to free web-based applications, which are 100% compatible with Microsoft Office applications. So Google Docs relates to Word, Google Sheets, of course, Excel, and Google Slides is for PowerPoint. "15 gigabytes of free storage." Another great thing about these is the file sharing. So you can put something, if you got photos that you want to share with your family, you don't need to use Facebook to do that. And I would probably recommend that you don't. But you can use just an actual cloud storage to share photos with your other family members. And all you need to do is just send them a link to that folder. It's accessible from any device. And of course, you get the productivity apps just by having a Google account. This is kind of what Google Drive looks like. And it looks kind of like your own file manager in Windows or on your Mac. So you can set up different folders, have documents inside of folders, all the same features that you would have in a regular file manager. You can also get an application called Google Drive for Desktop. And what this does, this installs on your machine. It is available for Windows and Mac users. And it automatically will sync what folders you specify to the cloud. So anything that you save to one of those folders will automatically get backed up onto the Google Drive. Manage your files, you know, I find cloud storage extremely useful. It just makes it easier to keep track of stuff. It also makes me feel a little bit safer with my own personal equipment, only because that if I have backups of all my documents and everything in a different location, and something happens to my computer, like it gets stolen, my house catches on fire, or I just get a virus and I have to reformat everything and start from scratch, I got copies of everything somewhere else. Yeah, it's a little bit painful because I have to go through and reinstall some things, but for the most part, all my data has been saved. You can share and collaborate on different files if you want. Okay, so if you and a family member are planning this just super trip and you want to kind of share information back and forth, and you're both working, you know, you're working together on a schedule and reservations and so forth and so on, an easy way for real-time collaboration. Okay, anybody want to talk about Google Drive? Or anything?
I'd just like to mention that I use Google Drive because I've got a Chromebook, and for I think it's like $20, $25 a year, I get 100 gigabytes of storage. So it's very cheap if you need more than the minimum 15 gigabytes they give you.
And yeah, I think it's a great point. Now, I personally use, because I have a Microsoft 365 account, I get a terabyte of storage on Microsoft OneDrive, which, again, both these things are pretty much identical in functionality. And so that, you know, it becomes extremely cost effective, as you're saying, for buying that extra storage. Or, you know, if you already have a subscription to Microsoft, you already have that storage that you're paying for, so you might as well use it. And I'm not telling you not to save anything locally, but the most security professionals will tell you that the magic number is 3, and that you want to have, you know, your important information saved in 3 different locations. Cloud storage can be one of those locations. Anything else?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want up that Google Drive for sharing photos I have all my photos start with when I'm taking pictures.
I'm sorry, you kept breaking up. Can you see if you can repeat that?
Okay, yeah, an echo at this end. I'm not sure why. I use Google Drive sharing photos from my Google Photos.
Okay. No, I mean, it is. Let me just say this. I'm not a fan of Facebook, and so I don't use it. But when I go travel, I will upload the photos to a folder on my Google Drive or my Microsoft OneDrive, and then I just send the link to those to my various family members who may want to see the photos. So there's a lot of different ways, to skin this cat, and it just becomes where is your comfort level?
Yeah, I used to use Dropbox quite a while back because my son-in-law set that up for me. And then he changed us over to OneDrive.
Yeah.
The funny thing connected to that was it took me several years to find out Dropbox was a general thing and not just name that on my computer because my son-in-law's last name happened to be Dropkin.
Okay. Well, no, I have no doubt that each and every one of you can think of a reason or a way to use cloud storage. Most people get a little bit, now don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to put all of your financial documents in the cloud. But there's probably a lot of stuff that you have that just becomes a very viable solution for you. So, anything else? Okay, let's talk about YouTube. This one's my favorite. It's a free video sharing website. It was originally created in 2005. And the average user, or the users are looking at around 6 billion hours of videos every month. So it's a massive, massive site. Now, the advantage of this is there's not much you can't find. All right, it was first developed by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jared Karim, and used Longtail's JW player. And it was repurchased by Google for $1.65 billion. Where I find this so useful is that there's just literally nothing that you can't find on there. And so if I need to find out how to do something with my iPhone. I was because the iPhone just recently did their iOS 14 update. I was curious about all the features. Went up on YouTube, did a search for iOS 14, and I probably found 30 or 40 different videos that went over the new features. Makes it just easy. And I tend to learn visually more than I do any other ways, especially as I get older and my eyesight gets worse. Video works great for me. I remember on a car that I had, I could not find how to change the cabin air filter because it was one of those ones that you basically had to remove part of the glove compartment. It was stuck up in around there. Went on YouTube, found a how-to video, showed me exactly how to do it, and piece of cake, 5-10 steps, and I was done. So I highly, if you haven't used YouTube or you're not familiar with it, take a look at it. There's some, now I'm going to be the first to tell you, there's a lot of trash up there, okay? So, and like with anything else, when it comes to internet searching, you kind of have to get good at being able to search, And what I recommend most people, whether you're using Google search or YouTube or actually any search, think about the content creator. When I search for something, I'm trying to think about, well, whoever created the information that I'm looking for, what kind of keywords would they have applied to it? And so I try to put myself in the mind of the content creator, and it does make a big difference. Google will, most all these search engines are plain language search engines. You can type in sentences if you want. On the handout, there's a bunch of stuff, different commands, how to use quotes in a search, how to use Boolean searches, and hopefully you'll find that somewhat interesting. If not interesting, then maybe useful. All right, that's pretty much the presentation. So I'm going to kind of open this up. I'm going to stop sharing and we can just talk, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, share anything I can with you until you get tired of listening to me.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have an Amazon Kindle Fire, and it has some good points, but I'm very limited in what I can install on that. And when I try to install the Google apps, I get a message that says something like, "You don't have any, this is not a valid device," or something to that effect.
And it's not so much always. It's not always that it's not the device, but sometimes it may be the actual version of the software on the device.
Okay.
So Google has upgraded their software. Well,
Yeah, this is the latest version.
Yeah, so all right, well, and if it is, then there's just some things that you're probably not going to be able to use, but I'm sure there's a browser installed on it. My recommendation, and I've kind of gone through this, I used to be just diehard Google user, okay, and that's all well and good. But over time, I've tried to separate myself and use other products as well. So I don't use Google Chrome as my default browser. I use DuckDuckGo. I don't necessarily do everything, and to me, I don't want Google knowing everything about me for everything that I do on the internet. So, I kind of pick and choose. To me, there is no replacement for YouTube. And I've read numerous articles about people saying, well, how do I de-Googlify my life? I'm not sure you can, because there's certain services that they have no competition in. But on the other hand, I don't need to use their search engine. I don't need to use their browser. There's plenty of other browsers.
Oh, I'm sure.
So.
I think one point that I'd like to make is if you sign into Google,
Ooh,
you're signed into everything that relates to it, right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's a one account sign in. Okay, so by having a Google account now, and you don't have to have Gmail to have a Google account.
Ew, look at that V-neck. I mean, holy shit. Yeah, I'll try it on.
Margaret, you need to mute.
I muted her.
Okay.
Okay, so but once you have a Google account, if you have a Chromebook, you have a Google account, I guarantee it. But once you have set up a Google account, then that gives you access to all of their services.
Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, I've had AOL for a long time, and this one friend said, "Dad, that's old. You should change and get a different email address." AOL still is fine, isn't it? I mean,
Well, no, it is. I mean, okay, I was in the military 20 years, repaired electronics. So my adage is if it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay, so if your email is working fine and you're happy with it, then don't change. But at some point you may decide that you need to. Okay, for whatever reason. Okay, so it's like I never encourage people to have their primary email with who's ever providing their internet access. Okay, so if you're using Cox or whatever it may be, I don't recommend that you use them for your email service provider. Okay, only because should you decide you need to change internet service providers, now you're forced to change your email. So I tend to keep those things separate.
You can also import into Gmail from
Right.
other services.
Yep. So I mean, I have about 5 or 6 different email addresses, that I've just accumulated over the years, but I see everything that's going on in those in my one Gmail interface. So that makes it very convenient for me.
How do you hook your other emails into that one Gmail interface?
Okay, when you go into settings, then you're going to go into the IMAP top section of settings, and it will walk you through. Now you're going to need to have the credentials for that email account, but it will walk you through on importing. It's not only importing, but there's also a setting to set up to be able to send from. Okay, so if you log into your whatever account that you have, and it's probably going to be the same information that if I wanted to set that account up in Outlook. Okay, I'm going to need the different servers that I'm using, of course, username, password, so forth and so on. But nice thing about it, you can do a search. If you do a search where it say how to import my email into Gmail, you're going to get bombarded with articles and videos to watch.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a very old Gmail account that I don't even remember my username and password.
Okay.
Do I try to find it, or do I just open a new one, or what?
I would suggest just do a new one. If you haven't been using it,
Yeah.
then there's probably nothing in there that's life critical to you. So just set up a new one,
Okay. Thank
And
you.
Yeah,
when-
I have a question also on how-tos. I did at some point set up my Gmail so that my various different emails all come through at once. But it was using something, this IMAP/POP.
Right.
And someplace along the way, it keeps asking me for my password for that. And I've totally forgotten that and apparently didn't have the sense to write it down anywhere. How do I handle that?
Okay, okay. So you've gone into settings and you set up basically to import email from a different email account to Gmail.
Right.
The password it's asking you for is for that account. Okay, so if you don't have that password, then you're not going to be getting email from that account.
It's asking me for an IMAP password.
IMAP, POP, that's where it's getting the email from. That's the protocol that it's using to import your email.
So just give it the password for that. Like if it's my AOL account, give it the password for my AOL account.
Email account, yes. Yep.
Okay.
And if that doesn't solve your issue, drop me an email and I'll do my best to help you figure this out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Wait,
Yes, Dorothy.
I have an iCloud account. That I pay 99 cents a month. If I switch over to the Google Cloud, is that going to give me the same thing as the iCloud?
Yes.
So I don't have to pay, I can cancel the iCloud.
I just helped this one lady do this recently because she was, again, same situation. She was paying, for the extra. I mean, you get so much storage with iCloud, free.
Yeah.
But if you want to use more than that, like to store photos and whatever, then you have to pay for it. So I helped her just set up a Google Drive account or a Google account, and we moved a bunch of her information from iCloud into the Google Drive, went back into iCloud, deleted all those records and got rid of it. And then she was able to cancel her extra expense for iCloud.
Okay, another thing I wanted to tell you, we're talking about YouTube. I have an Amazon Fire Stick. And when I was using it, at the bottom, it said the batteries were low, change the batteries. And I took a look at this Fire Stick and I could not figure out how to open the case. And I went on YouTube and it gave me the directions on how to open the case and replace the batteries. So it really was handy.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah,
I mean, it was wonderful, just wonderful. Without asking anybody, I was able to do it. Anything you need to know, it helps you figure out what you need to do.
I don't get network TV only because I would rather be poked in the eye with a sharp stick than watch commercials. So when it comes to, if I want to watch the news, I just get it off YouTube. I mean, they have basically every network known to mankind posting up their content. And so, I mean, you can get free movies, you can get music on there, whatever so I swear by YouTube. I think it's a great service and it comes out and it works out pretty well. Now, but like everything else on the internet, you need to take it with a grain of salt or maybe a bunch of grains of salt. But anyway, I highly recommend you give it a shot. You might be surprised in what you can find.
Are you talking about a pay service for YouTube? Because I know they have that.
There's YouTube TV.
Well, yeah, they're kind of broken down. You have YouTube with live TV. That's like $60 a month. Okay. And that's kind of like a cable replacement service. Okay. Then you have just YouTube, which is free. And that's just the videos. Okay. But there's music videos. There's every kind of video that, people put up there.
Lots and lots of tutorials. I know, I put many of them up there.
I know. And I'm sure you can go up there and you can get your total fill of Huey in one day. So the other thing is, and you have, that was a joke, Huey. So there, then they also have YouTube Premium. This costs about $12 a month. It removes all the ads from YouTube videos, and you also get the YouTube music service. So there's different tiers.
And let me just mention one thing. Of course, our club has its own YouTube channel, and everything that is being recorded now will be sent to my computer in the form of an MP4 file, which I can then upload to YouTube into our YouTube channel site, and that can be viewed by everybody in the entire world. Our site is completely public and password free.
So all your faces could be up there on YouTube now.
So is that at Deerfield Beach Computer Club on YouTube?
I'm going to show you that when I share a screen after Rob is finished with his presentation and Q&A.
Thank you.
I have a question that's bothering me. Sometimes I'll be on the computer and I'll be listening, and all of a sudden the computer keeps going ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. and you know, it's annoying to other people, and I don't know how to, I don't know where it's from or you know, how to stop it. It
Is,
goes ding, 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 you know.
is it Windows?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be that there's something going on in the background. It's most likely going to be in your sound settings in Windows.
Oh.
So that's where I would start first.
Sound settings.
Yeah. So if you just go into settings and probably see sound, it's going to be somewhere in that general vicinity.
Most likely it's going to be an app notification,
Yeah.
because every one of the apps, you get an email, you get a ding ding to let you know there's a new email. You get a message, you get a ding ding. Okay.
Oh.
And when you set those things up, you have a choice. Allow it to notify you or tell it not to notify you. So you'd have to go through all of your apps and things like your email to see what the notification settings are.
This reminds me of something that happened years ago. If you have an AOL account, the lady called me up on the phone and she said, this was many years ago, and I went down to the house and she said, I believe my computer is haunted. Because every time she would walk in there, she would hear a door open and close. So she would have to go over and open the door, and there's nobody there. And she thought somebody was trying to you know, intrude in her privacy. So she got scared and called me. I came over there and I said, oh, I heard that. She said, that's a door opening and closing. That's when people come in and leave AOL. Oh, now I understand.
Right. Right. Any other questions?
Another thing too, it could be an ad coming up on the right-hand side of the bottom of the screen. And sometimes you get ads and they bing.
Right.
But
Yeah, you have to stop the ads from coming in.
anytime that you get something that you're unsure of, do a search. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's Google search, because it's a great way. I guarantee you nothing's happening with your computers or your devices that hasn't happened before. Someone else has had this problem, almost guarantee it. You know, there are no more original problems. So do a search and you'll be surprised that you'll find stuff that help you solve what the issue is.
Great. Well,
I have a
Rob,
question.
any more?
When YouTube asks you to subscribe, do you get charged for anything?
No.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh, thank you.
Subscribe is kind of like making that channel a favorite in when using your web browser. That's all it's doing. You know, there's two features there, subscribe and notify. Subscribe just means it's a favorite. It'll be over on your left-hand panel. Notify means that you'll get a notification whenever they put up new content. And that's really all it means.
Okay. Okay, Rob, I want to thank you for an excellent presentation. Let's all give him a virtual hand.
Redo this. Been a pleasure, guys. Enjoy your pandemic and stay safe. And anything I can do for you in the future, let me know.
Thank you, Rob. Bye now.
Bye.
Folks, I'm going to share my screen, so hang on. Here we are at the Deerfield Beach Computer Club. Amazing, huh?
Very good.
Okay, so what we're going to do is going to go through some of this. Carol and I have been very, very busy. We haven't wasted any time trying to update everything we can on this site. After all, we paid for it. We may as well get the most out of it. You'll see here that there is a Facebook here and there is a YouTube. When you click on that, it's going to take you to our YouTube channel directly. Okay? It's called Musikmann, which is German for musician, which I am. And here are all the uploads. There's one from Carol a few weeks ago. She also did a supplement one called Podcast Revisited. I'll have to reorder those. There's one from Huey. There's one that Don did. There's one from a Zoom meeting. Okay. You can see everything that I've done. I have done 103, I believe, since we started. There they are. Way, 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 all the way back, as far as you can go. So that's how you get there. Now, it may look a little different on your device, where the YouTube icon is. It might be in the upper right-hand corner or whatever, but that's how you do it. So now I believe I can do a new screen share. Can I not? Let's do that. Let me see. Well, I'll go back to the screen here. Let me pull back.
Just close out the browser and then share whatever else you want to share next.
Okay. I want to go back to the home page here. And let me do that. Let me just go here. Okay. Let me go back here and get something else in the browser. Give me a second.
You had it open as the first tab on your browser.
Okay. Well, now I've lost it somewhere. Let me share it again. It was bound to happen, folks. Okay, so here's the tab in here. If we went to the club site, you'll see that I have a great many more things here. Let me go back in. Okay, are you seeing this now?
Yep.
All right, let me go back in here. Now here's what else we've done. Under member resources, I've gone to handouts. And if you look at your handouts, you're going to see that the new one that Rob gave me is right here. It says Google Resources, Rob Truman. Okay. So you can print that out. You can just look at it. It's in PDF format. It should open with everything standard. Now, and other things that we've done, we're constantly updating our downloads, and look at the number of magazines and stuff we have under here. Ask the experts. I call this for kids of all ages. Isn't that what we all are after all? And there's tech, health, consumer, seniors, reference, free learning, and potpourri. If you can't find it there, you can't find it anywhere. Now, another site I'd like to show you that's, let's see. We have gone down here, and Carol has been populating the In Case You Missed It section. Here are the upcoming presentations you can see. For example, on October 9th, our next one, that's Bob. And then on October 23rd, we have John Kennedy, no relation, presenting an intro to Linux. That is going to fascinate you, I guarantee you. We have a trending now section where I have added the latest tech. If you click on this, it will take you to Apple's site. If you click on this, it will take you to Microsoft's site. If you click on this, it will take you to Google's latest site. If you click on this, it will take you to Samsung's innovations and an event which Google is planning for October 30th, because they did not do their main keynote address because of the pandemic. As you know, on September 15th, Microsoft did a pre-recorded virtual keynote address from California. This is Rob's site, Geezer Tech AZ. I'll let you look at that when you have a chance. Last week, we went to the Alzheimer's store, which a lot of people found extremely useful. There's a variety of stuff there that you can purchase. Goes from the cheapest to the most expensive, but how much is your loved one's life worth anyway? Here's a new site called Make Tech Easier. If you have any questions, I hope you can all see it. There's the talk about the Raspberry Pi, how to improve sound on your Android phone, latest Windows 10 version, what happens if your laptop touchpad isn't working, mastering Ubuntu, which is Linux, one of the distros, we call it distributions. Upcoming 5G networks will require new phones. Well, Apple did not introduce the iPhone 12s on September 15th, but when they do, they're supposed to be their first 5G compatible phone, if you can find a 5G network to use them on, that's saying. How to make Google Assistant read your articles out loud, etc., etc., etc. All right, let me go back again. And we'll simply move to the next one, which I think you'll enjoy as well. Print Friendly. This is an amazing program. If you go to Print Friendly, it will make any web page turn into a friendly page. Take out the ads, the crap, the detritus, the junk, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And you can preview it. It installs as a browser extension. And this is a video, which I'd like you to listen to. I hope I can get it shared. Let's see if I can, I don't know how I can enable this.
Are you sharing your computer sound?
Did you hear that?
You haven't started playing it.
Okay, here you go. Can you hear it?
Yep.
No. Barry, can you hear me?
Yes.
FYI, Amazon just released all its new products today.
Okay, all right. But we don't want to interfere with this right now because I'm screen sharing something, Don. Hold that for a second, okay?
Sure.
All right, thank you very much. Let me
Just
get
glad to
into
get it
this.
working.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Let me get back here where I was because
Barry, are you sharing computer sound when you shared the screen?
I was trying to, yes.
That's something you have to do when you first start screen sharing.
Okay, let's take a look. I see. Okay. Anyway, the one I really think is very interesting, you can look at that as you want. There's very good site on Eating Well and Laptop Magazine. But this site is really amazing. And it's strange because I accidentally found it when I mistyped it. And watch this. You're now in Amsterdam. You can change the speed. You can turn on the street noise. And there's a radio as well. You hear that?
That's
Now
New
watch.
York, not Amsterdam.
This
New
is
York.
now this is Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Let me show you. It plays the radio, and then you can turn on the street noise if you like. you can go to the city of Barcelona. It's like taking a guided tour. Watch this.
Is that real time?
No, I think this was recorded possibly years ago.
Oh,
Gonna say, I want the job of just driving around town all night long.
I was
taking
hoping
pictures.
Mike was going to be here at the meeting because I would have shown him London. Here we can go to Berlin. I believe what they've done is mount a GoPro Hero camera on the top of their truck or something.
Probably one of the buses.
Here's good old Chicago. Does it look familiar to anybody?
Yeah, there's that deep dish pizza place over there.
The New York one certainly looked familiar. Do they have Santa Fe?
I'm looking. There's Delhi, India.
Try Boston, please.
And then here's Hawaii. Whoop.
How about Boston?
I'm looking. Let's see, we can go to, I don't know.
Not in there.
There's London. You can turn that street noise off or on, and you can change the speed, of course, if you want to go really fast. But that camera will stop wherever there's a stop sign or something out. You'll see a sign there that says bathroom. Actually, it's a loo in London. That's the word for their bathroom or toilet. So I'm saying if you got a real problem, I guess you'd have to skip to my loo.
that's cute,
Oh,
Barry.
Barry, that was terrible.
Really?
I know.
Good one, good one.
There's
put
Los
my-
Angeles. I've been here many times.
Oh, that's,
And then
Put
all you do-
Miami, put Miami on.
we're
it
going.
is.
Ready to go to Miami?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it'll look familiar.
So what's the name of this site, Barry?
Drive and listen.
Listen,
It's under, I've got it under our notable sites or sites worth exploring under the trending.
Thank you.
So we're in Miami now. We're in.
Yep.
Been there, done that.
And now I can just turn
It
off.
looks like
the
near
noise.
downtown,
Yep.
Brickell. Yeah, going toward Brickell.
Yeah, let's keep looking at it for a few minutes. Everybody like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
different.
Fascinating.
Good. I don't know. Some of these may have been done years ago. We've got Switzerland, Munich, Moscow. There's New York City. We're going to go to New York City now. Oh, there I am, East 31st.
I went to the Tel Aviv one, and from looking at that one, you can tell that it isn't necessarily a camera on a car because it takes you through a pathway there, which is
Okay.
obviously for pedestrians or bikes only.
Look, I'm in New York already. I can't talk. Hey, I talk like a New Yorker. There's a tree right up. There's a tree right up to 35th Street,
And Toyd Avenue.
Floyd Avenue. Yeah.
Toyd,
Huh.
toidy, toyd, and toyd.
We also have Los Angeles. Let's see.
How about Boston?
It
There
doesn't,
isn't. It's not in there yet.
Gives you an
Oh,
opportunity to go do something.
Right.
how about Paris?
There's Tel Aviv. Oh, there's Wuhan. Oh, I'm sure that's fun.
Closed.
Here's Zurich, and if you want snow, I believe it's in St. Petersburg. No?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's Toronto in Canada. Irv, are you there? Okay,
Irv lives in Ottawa.
right.
I'm gonna say goodbye. I have to leave now.
Okay,
Thanks for everything. Bye.
all right, take care.
I'm going to say goodbye too. Thank
Me
you.
too.
See you next month.
Okay, remember, October 9th, okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna stop my sharing.
Very good.
Well, it's been a very interesting meeting, and I want to thank all of you for your constant support of this club. Your Zoom may be the program, but you're the glue that keeps this club together. And we're going to keep doing everything that we can. Maybe the time or the date will vary, but we'll let you know. We'll be sending out invitations again. Bob, you want to tell everybody something about your presentation on October 9th, please?
You have that information in the link that I sent you.
Right, but you're going to do an encore presentation on staying safe and secure, right?
Yeah, but update it.
Okay.
So some things have, quite a few things have changed. I was at your club 8 months ago, and things were a bit different 8 months ago. And
That's
things have
right.
also changed when it comes to security from 8 months ago.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we'll let you know by sending you an invitation about a week in advance. And Bob, I know you're in New Mexico. So what was the city again?
Las Lunas,
Las Lunas. Okay.
the moon.
So he's still going to be how many hours? 2 hours early?
Yes.
But because he has an additional meeting to do, as a lot of these people do, he's going to keep the 10 o'clock time frame for us. So we're going back to 10 o'clock
Right.
That's
on
better.
October 9th.
That's a Friday?
That is
Yep.
always, yeah, we're going to continue the Friday. We may
Good.
move to a different day and a different time. If that happens, we're going to be testing like a Monday. Some other groups meet on Thursdays. Usually Saturdays and Sundays are very busy for guest speakers. People have a lot of presentations and things to do. Was this convenient time for everybody that's here
Yes.
now?
yeah.
1
Yeah, I
o'clock's
prefer-
good.
I
Yes.
prefer morning.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So again, let me thank you. I wish you continued good health and be safe and
You
follow
too.
all the guidelines. And until we meet again, God bless for the Jewish people. Have a smooth and easy fast. And when is Yom Kippur? Is it Sunday night?
Monday night, Monday.
It's called, the name of it is called Kol Nidre. Yom Kippur stands for means Day of Atonement. It's when everyone gets together virtually or live and they atone for their sins. But unfortunately, those are only the ones that you commit against a fellow human being. The only one, that you commit against God, excuse me. The only ones that are not atoned for are the ones between man and woman and God. Those you have to do on your own. Glad I got that straight. I want to make it to heaven the right way. Okay. Forgive me, Lord. I have sinned. I'm ready. By the way, all of these services are virtual now, and you can find them online. The one I recommend if you're Jewish and you want to see it is the one at New York Central Synagogue.
Yes, indeed.
That is the best one. They actually have operatic trained personnel. There's a female rabbi.
And she's half Korean and half Jewish.
And she's good. That's right.
Excellent.
I don't know if it's North Korea or South Korea. Do you?
No.
I bet you it's South Korea.
There was just a news article about a South Korean who was defecting to North Korea, and he was shot by the North Koreans
Oh, I'm
because they thought he might have COVID.
Yep.
That'll teach you to let you know you should not move from the bright side to the dark side.
Don was trying to tell us before he left that Amazon has just released a whole bunch of products today. So I'm going to start researching them, and you'll find them posted on our site.
And nobody mentioned Ruth
Bader
Ginsburg.
Yes,
I put my sign up, but nobody recognized it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta go.
She is the first Jewish woman ever of this Supreme Court justice ever to lie and state like that.
I know.
First woman and the first Jewish person, both.
That's right. Gosh, God rest her soul.
Okay.
Irving, is there anything you want to say? I haven't heard from you. Irving?
Maybe he's not on mute or something.
No,
he's unmuted.
Okay, Irving. Can you hear me? Irving?
Well, he's got on his earphones.
Yeah, but I don't hear him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gone.
I'm going to be
No, there he
leaving.
is.
Okay, everybody.
I am too.
Bye-bye.
All right, Bob, do I
See you
hit?
next?
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
I
the
wanna-
Alexa stuff is on the
Great.
CNET podcast, by the way, the new Alexa tools.
Okay, great.
Yep.
I'm going to stop recording.
Wait, it looks like Helene's trying to say something.
Go ahead,
You're on
Helene.
mute, Helene.
You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, as I usually do, I thank everybody for everything they've said, but I always thank Barry for the good job he does to set it up for us.
All right, Barry.
Thank you. The best is yet to come. Bob, when I want to stop the recording, do I hit that square that says stop recording, not the end button?
Right. Stop recording first, and then you can end.
Okay, great. So long, everybody.
And then hold on afterwards, because it's going to go and render your
Bye.
recording.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year too.
Same to you. See you.
All right.
See you next month.